She can't text you first, but she's dying to. Here's why. No contact psychology, modern stoic. Have you ever wondered why the person who left you, without warning, without closure, without explanation, still can't stop thinking about you, yet refuses to reach out first? Why does she watch your stories from a distance, yet never make the first move? Why does she post online, looking carefree, while you sit there in the silence she left behind? Here's the untold truth. She's waiting for you to chase after her. But the moment you stop chasing, something unexpected happens. The silence you've been drowning in, it becomes her prison. Every time you don't text, every post you leave unliked, every message you choose not to send, these actions speak louder than words ever could. They send a message she can't ignore. She's not reaching out because of pride, fear, or simply because she's waiting for you to break first. She's hoping that you'll cave, that you'll reach out and restore the illusion of control she's clinging to. But a man who understands his worth, a man who masters his emotions, doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He doesn't seek validation from someone who chose to walk away. And when she realizes that you're no longer chasing her, when she sees that your world didn't crumble without her, that's when it all starts to hit her. The regret, the doubt, the obsession. Not because you did anything to win her back, but because you let go. You stopped trying, and she feels your absence like a storm she never saw coming. This is where you reclaim your power. This is not a game, it's your transformation. You don't need her to come back. You need to come back to yourself. So if you're still waiting for her to make the first move, stop. What she's really waiting for is proof that you've moved on, that you've found your strength again. If you're tired of waiting for someone who made you feel like an option, if you're ready to become the man she never thought you could be, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below. My silence speaks louder than words ever could. Now, let's begin. Number 1. She pulled away to watch you chase. When she pulls away, don't mistake it for confusion or disinterest. It's a deliberate move. She didn't distance herself to figure things out or lose interest overnight. No, she pulled away with a single, focused aim. To see if you'd chase. It's simple. She needs to know if you're truly hers. And how does she find out? She takes a step back and waits. The moment you feel her slipping away, most men panic. They fire off desperate texts that go unread, apologize for things they never did, and try to love louder, act softer, all while she continues to pull away and emotionally vanish. Why? Because she already has her answer. You've already broken. You've reached out, you've shown need, and that's the very thing she wanted to see. You folded. That's all it took. When a woman distances herself, don't assume she's just trying to leave. Often, it's a test. A power play masked as uncertainty. And when you react with emotional desperation, begging for clarity, sending long, needy messages, you hand her exactly what she wants. Control. But the modern Stoic? He does the opposite. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't spiral into emotional chaos. He doesn't shoot off that long, emotionally charged text she'll never respect. He understands this for what it is, a silent test of his emotional discipline. She wants to know if he can remain calm when the person he cared about suddenly pulls away. The old Stoic approach? You stay still, you remain composed, and you don't chase. When you pass that test, something shifts in her. She thought she knew how this would go. She thought you'd come running. But instead, you vanish into silence. No chase, no emotional display, just quiet strength and calm. That absence, that's what haunts her. It's not the silence itself, it's what that silence implies. It implies you've already let go. It implies that you have your own life, your own strength, and her pullback no longer disrupts your peace. This is where you win, not by pretending to be detached, but by being so rooted in your self-worth, so in control of your emotions, that her absence no longer rattles you. You become the storm she never saw coming, the one who didn't chase because he didn't need to. That's the blessing of Stoicism at work. Number 2, Attention is the drug, and you were her dealer. Attention isn't just a nice thing to have, it's a powerful currency. In a world where validation is sought after like a drug, your attention became her fix. She might not have even realized it, but every good morning text, every compliment, every simple like or word of encouragement you threw her way was like a hit of dopamine. It made her feel chosen, desired, safe. She didn't just feel loved, she felt like she was worshipped. The more attention you gave, the more it became her lifeline. Your presence was like clockwork, predictable, always there when she needed it. It felt good at first, right? She basked in it. But here's the catch. Over time, that constant supply began to lose its magic. It became background noise, white noise. Familiarity breeds indifference, and she stopped appreciating what she once valued, simply because it was always available. She took it for granted. The value of your attention in her eyes faded because it was so easy to get. But here's where the real twist happens. When you go silent, when you pull back and stop feeding that addiction, that's when it hits hardest. No text, no likes, no good mornings. Just quiet. And in that silence, a void forms. And the human brain, it can't stand a void. It craves closure. It craves certainty. So she starts checking your online status. She wonders why you haven't liked her latest post. Where's your name in her notifications? It's not just curiosity, it's withdrawal. The addiction is kicking in. You've stopped giving, and now the scales are balancing out. You're not ghosting her. You're not trying to hurt her. You're just reasserting your worth. You're not handing it out for free anymore. The silence is a powerful statement. As she experiences this scarcity, she starts to feel the pull. And that's where the magic lies. The less you give, the more valuable you become. She begins to wonder, why hasn't he reached out? What's going on? Was I wrong? All those thoughts start flooding her mind, and uncertainty begins to settle in. Now she's chasing. She has to earn it. That shift from you being the supplier to you becoming the prize is the real game changer. She'll start to chase what she once took for granted because now, in true Stoic fashion, you've embraced the power of detachment. You've pulled back to rebalance, and like a true Stoic, you've recognized the importance of not giving away your value. You're no longer desperate for validation or attention, and that very detachment makes you more attractive. This, my friend, is the power of no-contact psychology. It's not about playing games or manipulation. It's about being the Stoic man who understands that his value is not in his attention, it's in his presence, in his detachment, in his ability to move on and choose when and where to invest his energy. So, don't give too much away. Don't make yourself so easily accessible. The less you give, the more she will need to earn it, and the more she will chase. That's Stoicism. That's the Stoic life. You know your worth, and you don't waste it. You let her feel the loss, and through that, you reclaim your power. If you believe attention is a powerful currency, and silence can make you more desirable, drop a comment right now. I am the prize, and I make them chase. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remind yourself daily, scarcity makes you irresistible. Number 3. The art of strategic absence. When you're always available, you become invisible. It's a paradox. The more you show up, the more she expects you to. The more you reach out, the less weight your words carry. Consistency is powerful, but when it's excessive, it becomes noise. And when you're the background noise, you're no longer the story. You're just there until you're not. That's where the power of a strategic absence comes in. It's not about cutting her off in anger. It's about stepping back with precision, with control. You disappear, not because you're emotional, but because your presence is no longer free. She thought she could retreat, go cold, pull away, and that you'd still be there when she came back. She thought your loyalty was unconditional. But now, she feels the silence, and it's louder than anything you ever said. Absence isn't passive, it's pressure. When done right, it creates the one thing she can't ignore: contrast. She remembers how available you used to be, how your messages lit up her phone, and now nothing. That drop-off creates a void, forcing her to pay attention, not to you but to herself, to her decisions, and to her ego. She starts questioning, did I mess this up? And that doubt, that slow burn of realization, that's where your power lives. Because here's the Stoic truth. You don't need to convince her of your worth. Your absence does it for you. It's a silent reminder that you're not just another man waiting around. You're a man who chooses where he invests his energy. And if she pulled back, you respect that by matching her distance and doubling it. Number 4. Emotions are traps. Detach or be devoured. Emotions are traps. A man who allows his emotions to dictate his actions is a man who will be devoured. When you're emotionally entangled, clarity slips away. And that's exactly why she pulled back in the first place, because she knew it would hurt you. She knew it would ignite that deep need for closure, answers, and reassurance. But here's the catch. The more you react emotionally, the more power you hand over to her. Every time you feel, she gains control. She doesn't even have to do anything. Your emotions will do the job for her. Too many men lose the game here. They can't stand the silence. They feel the sting, and desperate to fix things, they reach out, trying to restore connection. But that's not strength. It's fear wearing the mask of action. It's your mind scrambling to end discomfort at the expense of your self-respect. Each time you break, each time you cave, you reinforce her power. You tell her, without saying a word, you can leave and I'll still be here. A modern Stoic doesn't fall for this trap. He knows that pain is inevitable, but reaction is a choice. Emotions come, sure, but they don't rule him. He watches them pass like clouds in the sky, never giving in. The old Stoic didn't suppress his feelings. He simply refused to let them take control. When you let your emotions lead, you lose your logic. And with that, you lose your leverage, your value, and your center. Detachment doesn't mean numbing your emotions. It means having the clarity to feel pain and still not act out of it. It's the ability to stand firm in the middle of a storm, unmoved. That stillness is rare, magnetic, and terrifying to anyone who thought you'd crumble under pressure. When you detach, you stop reacting to her absence and start commanding your presence. You stop needing her for closure, and you begin to create closure within yourself. This shift rewrites the entire dynamic. She doesn't see a man chasing her anymore. She sees a man evolving, a man who's no longer desperate for her validation. And that mystery, that calm, that absence of emotional chaos will make her question everything. Did she ever really know you? And in that space of uncertainty, obsession takes root. If you found this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit from this insight. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember. Emotions are traps. Detach, evolve, and command your presence. Number 5. Your pain is her mirror. Your pain doesn't just hurt you, it exposes her. And that's something most men don't see right away. When she walks away and you're left feeling broken, your suffering isn't just about missing her. It's a reflection of something far deeper. It mirrors her control over you. It confirms she had power. It shows you needed her to feel whole, to feel complete. You must understand, for someone who has distanced themselves, that realization of power feels like victory. When she sees that you're struggling after her departure, it reaffirms her belief that she was right to leave. You've essentially become proof that she holds the key to your emotional state. You've made her the center of your peace, something you shouldn't do, yet many men fall into that trap. The Stoic man sees it differently. He doesn't look for external validation to feel complete. He knows that real strength lies within himself. And this is where the problem lies for most men. They believe that if she just reaches out, calls or texts, the pain will stop. That's the false comfort they cling to. But let's be clear, the relief from reconnecting would be fleeting at best. You see, the pain you feel isn't simply her absence. It's the lie that you need her to feel okay. The Stoic lessons teach us that external circumstances don't dictate our internal peace. This is crucial. If your peace is dependent on someone else's presence, you'll always be at the mercy of their actions, their choices. And that, my friend, is a dangerous game to play. So the question becomes, how do you stop this cycle? First, you need to recognize that your pain is not a punishment. It's a signal. It's telling you something vital. You've given away too much power. The pain doesn't come from her. It comes from your attachment to her. She didn't break you. She revealed what was already fragile inside of you. This is the foundation of Stoicism, the recognition that external events don't control us. The only thing that truly governs our peace is our own mind, our own inner strength. When you shift your mindset, when you stop chasing her for relief, something powerful happens. You stop asking, why did she leave me? And start asking, why was I so dependent on her staying? This change in perspective is the very essence of Stoic life. It's about taking responsibility for your own peace, no matter what's happening around you. It's about rebuilding your identity, your discipline, and your self-worth on your own terms. Your pain becomes a mirror, not reflecting what you've lost, but showing you exactly what you need to rebuild. You no longer project your hurt onto her. Instead, you turn inward and start the work of reclaiming your own strength. You reconnect with yourself, not her. The moment you do this, something shifts in the dynamic. And this is where the magic happens. She starts to feel it. Not your suffering, but your healing. Not your desperation, but your distance. And that is the most powerful thing you can show her. It's not about sending her a message or reaching out. It's about living in a way that makes her see she's not the one who defines you, that you are stronger, more grounded, and more resilient than she ever thought. She feels your indifference, not in a cold, disconnected way, but in a way that signals you found your peace. And that realization? It hits deeper than any message ever could, because now she's left with a version of you that no longer reflects her power. Instead, it reflects her mistake. And that's a feeling she won't forget anytime soon. This is what the Stoic man understands. Pain is a tool, not a sentence. It's a lesson, not a burden. When you stop using her as the excuse for your suffering, you break free. You free yourself from needing her approval, her presence, to feel okay. Instead, you rebuild your inner foundation, your self-worth, your peace, your identity. And that, my friend, is the most powerful thing you can do. Don't allow someone else's actions to control your peace. You must create your own stability. Stoicism teaches you that true power comes from within, not from others. You are the architect of your own emotional state. When you master this, nothing, not even her departure, can take away your peace. Number 6. Women feel deeply, but respond to power. She can't text you first, but believe me, she's dying to. It's not about what you feel or what you express, it's about what you project. In today's world, many men make the mistake of thinking vulnerability will win her back. They believe if they reveal their hurt, express their emotions, or beg for another chance, she'll return. But here's the truth. Emotion without control is weakness. It doesn't attract, it repels. No woman is drawn to a man who is unstable, dependent, or constantly seeking validation. She wants power. She wants strength. She wants a man who knows how to control his emotions, who stands tall, who doesn't collapse when things go silent. This is where you must embrace the Stoic principles of Marcus Aurelius: self-control, inner peace, and resilience. You see, it's not your feelings she's looking for. It's your power, your ability to be calm, centered, and unshaken. She wants to see if you can stand alone, walk away, and not look back. That is the kind of man who commands respect. That is the kind of man who makes her second guess her decision. Women are emotional beings. Yes, but emotions are not what lead them. They respond to power. Your power. Here's the key. Stop trying to prove yourself. Stop begging. Stop pleading. That only shows your desperation. Instead, you must focus on mastering yourself. The Stoic approach of Marcus Aurelius teaches us that true power lies in restraint, in inner strength, and in not being moved by external forces. Once you stop chasing her, she will start chasing you. When you no longer need her, she begins to wonder if she still holds a place in your life. She begins to question her own value. The silence becomes the test. Does she still matter to you? Is she replaceable? The threat of replacement is far more powerful than any emotional plea. When she senses that you've outgrown the need for her, that's when the attraction rekindles. And here's the truth. If you master yourself, she will look at you not as the man she left, but as the man she never expected to rise. You must learn the art of silence, the power of restraint. Your strength lies not in your words or actions, but in your ability to remain composed, grounded, and confident. Remember this: your journey to mastery is the only path that leads to victory. Don't wait for her to reach out. Don't seek her validation. Focus on building the man you were always meant to be. Follow the Stoic principles. Control your emotions, stand tall, be centered, and watch as she begins to feel the pull of your power. You must become the man who commands respect, not the man who begs for it. When you do, she'll be dying to reach out. If you've made it this far, you're already starting to see the truth. Your power lies not in chasing her, but in mastering yourself. Stop waiting for her to make the first move. Become the man who doesn't need her validation to feel whole. Comment, I am the strength she didn't expect if you're ready to embrace your power and transform the way she sees you. Number 7. Your silence forces her reflection. Silence isn't just an empty void. It's the weight of absence, a force that makes her pause. When you stop reaching out, stop trying to fill the silence, you leave space for something much more powerful than words, her thoughts. In that stillness, her mind shifts. The distractions are gone. Your attention, which used to protect her from doubt, is no longer there. And that's when the questions begin to rise. Why hasn't he texted? Was I just a phase? Did he ever care about me at all? All the answers she once had crumble, and what's left is raw, unfiltered truth. The absence of your validation makes her face the reality she's been avoiding. The more you stay silent, the more she's forced to confront the weight of her actions and decisions. Without your chase to cling to, she can no longer pretend she has control. She can no longer avoid feeling the consequences of walking away. But here's the power of true silence. It disrupts her narrative. Initially, she might tell herself that you'll fold, that your pride couldn't handle her absence, that you'll crack under the pressure of her distance. But when days turn into weeks and you remain unmoved, that story begins to unravel. Her ego fights it, but your silence presses on, whispering a harsh truth she's not ready to hear. He might not come back. Regret begins to creep in slowly, often quietly, sometimes in the form of restless thoughts, random dreams, fleeting memories of you. Those memories don't fade. They grow louder, more persistent. The emotional noise she once caused you is now reverberating back to her. She's no longer reacting to what you're doing. She's reacting to what you're not doing. And in that confusion, that internal storm, the roles reverse. She's now the one left to wrestle with the unanswered questions. But don't make the mistake of thinking this silence is something you can fake. It's not about ignoring her or just playing the waiting game. No, this kind of silence works only when it's real. It's not about withholding. It's about focusing on your life, your purpose, your growth. Silence without movement is just avoidance, a dead end. But silence paired with transformation, that's a force that can shake her to the core. Because it's not just your silence she feels anymore. It's the distance, the emotional, energetic, and spiritual distance that's impossible to ignore. The longer she sits in that emptiness, the more the question lingers in her mind. Did I lose him, or did he outgrow me? And that, my friend, is when the old Stoic wisdom of self-mastery, the blessing of Stoicism, truly comes into play. You're not just standing still, you're evolving. And that is what ultimately makes her reflect on the choices she's made, knowing that silence with growth is a powerful tool in the hands of a modern Stoic. Number 8. You become a mystery. Predictability can be the death knell of desire. When she knew exactly how you'd react, what you'd say, and how quickly you'd text back. The mystery faded. That comfort, it turned into control. And once she had control, the intrigue, gone. That's the critical mistake many men miss. Women aren't drawn to men they can fully figure out. Instead, they are irresistibly pulled toward what they can't decode. The Stoic lesson. Here. Embrace the mystery of the unknown. Mystery isn't just a game to play, it's real power. In a world that expects constant availability, when you pull back, when you stop spilling every thought and emotion into the digital abyss, you make yourself unpredictable. And unpredictability? That's what keeps her on her toes. Now think about it. You stop the texting frenzy. You resist the urge to check in all the time. You go low-key, just living your life without broadcasting it to the world. Suddenly, she doesn't know if you're healing or hurting, waiting or moving on. She doesn't know whether you miss her or if she's become a faint memory. This uncertainty, this void, it makes her crazy. Why? Because tension builds attraction. The human brain is wired to solve puzzles. Now you are the puzzle. The less you give away, the more she has to figure out. She begins to stalk your stories, but you post less. She checks your social profile, but it's quieter than a library at midnight. She searches for clues that you're slipping up, but all she finds is silence, stillness, and presence. And that presence is magnetic. Be unpredictable. Live with purpose. This silence isn't about playing hard to get or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about living a life so fully, so unapologetically, so purposefully that your absence becomes a natural byproduct of your focus. This is where Stoic lessons come into play. A Stoic man is not focused on external validation or playing games. Instead, he's focused on his purpose, his goals, and his inner peace. He is the embodiment of strength because he's not chasing anything or anyone. His silence isn't a tactic, it's a reflection of his autonomy. When you embrace this Stoic mindset, you become a man who's not easily understood, and that is incredibly powerful. She doesn't feel like you're hiding from her. She feels you're ascending, that you're growing into someone she can't replace. That's when the tables turn. She begins to crave your attention, not because you're withholding it on purpose, but because it feels earned now. She needs to work for it. The shift, from predictable to unpredictable. In the beginning, you were the man she could access at any time, open, transparent, and available. But now you've become the man who's a mystery. You've left the gate closed, and she can't figure out how to get back in. She's locked outside, and that unknown territory, it draws her in deeper. This is the reverse of how it started. You were once easy to figure out. Now you're a challenge, and challenges are irresistible. This shift isn't about playing games or acting aloof. It's about embodying a Stoic life where your value isn't up for negotiation. Your life, your actions, your decisions, they are yours. And that makes you the most attractive man in the room. When she starts obsessing over decoding you, you know you've struck gold. Final thought. Craving leads to action. And here's the ultimate truth. Craving leads to action. When a woman is caught up in the mystery of you, her curiosity turns to something deeper. She can't let go, not because you're playing mind games, but because she can't ignore the allure of the unknown. And that curiosity, it will drive her to act. And when she acts, that's when you've truly redefined the rules. So remember, you don't need to chase after her. Be the mystery, and she'll chase after you. Let your life unfold, live your truth, and the attraction will follow. Number 9. The comeback isn't chased, it's chosen. Listen carefully. You don't chase a comeback. You don't wait around, hoping she'll remember you. You become the man who attracts the comeback naturally. That's where most men fail. They think silence is a passive strategy, a countdown until she reaches out. They assume that if they wait long enough, she'll return. But here's the hard truth. No contact isn't about waiting. It's about becoming. It's about focusing on growth, discipline, and self-respect. You don't sit around hoping she'll miss you. You work on yourself. So much so that when she does come back, she'll have to fight for the man she once thought she could walk away from. The man she left behind, he was needy. He was predictable. He was emotionally available to the point of weakness. He needed her approval to feel whole. But the man you've become, a Stoic, a version of yourself forged in silence, strengthened through discipline, and sharpened by absence. You no longer crave what once left you. You crave the things that will elevate you. Self-respect, purpose, growth. That is the real transformation, the quiet strength that doesn't need validation. It's Stoic principles in action, where you master your emotions, take control of your life, and find peace in your own company. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The power is within you to change, and it starts with the way you think, the way you see yourself. And when she does return, and if you've truly done the work, she will. Understand that it's not a reunion. It's a reckoning. The man she left behind doesn't even exist anymore. He's gone. Instead, she faces the man she never thought would rise from the ashes, the man who stopped begging, stopped explaining, stopped shrinking just to be understood. The man who now speaks less, moves smarter, and values peace over emotional reaction. You don't let her back in because she apologized. You let her prove that she deserves proximity to the new version of you. That's where the power shifts. She may have left, but you've changed. You've transformed into the man who no longer needs to be chosen. You choose yourself, and that more than any silence or distance rattles her. You've transcended the version of yourself who once yearned for her approval. You've embraced the Stoic idea that the only way to deal with this life meaningfully is to find one's passion, find a purpose that is bigger than oneself. And that purpose is not tied to her. It's tied to your identity, your strength, and your mission in life. You're no longer waiting for her to come back. You've become the man who no longer depends on anyone's approval, not even hers. You've found your center, your peace, and if she doesn't come back, that's not a loss. You don't collapse. You remain steadfast, because this journey was never about her return. It was always about your return to strength, to clarity, to an unshakable identity. That's the real win. The comeback is not something you chase, it's something you choose. You went no contact, not to get her back, but to get you back. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. And now, you are the man, stoic, purposeful, and unshakable. That's what matters. That's what counts. If you find this valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I choose myself first. Number 10. The Stoic Blessing. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It's a display of incredible strength. It's the decisive move in a game she never even knew she was playing. When you fully release her, not just from your phone, but from your thoughts, your story, your very identity, you offer her something no text message could ever communicate, the profound blessing of your absence. Most men get stuck in a waiting game, hoping and half detached, pretending they've moved on, yet deep down still staring at the door, waiting for it to open. That's not Stoicism, that's self-deception. The true modern Stoic doesn't just walk away, he lets go entirely. No anger, no bitterness, no self-pity, only silence, self-respect, and a commitment to move forward with purpose. If she's meant to come back, she will, but not to the same man, not to the one who was emotionally needy and predictable. If she returns, she'll face a man she has to earn. And if she doesn't, then you've still won, because you didn't let heartbreak define you. Instead, you let it refine you. Letting go is the ultimate power play. It says, I no longer need closure. I am the closure. It's a quiet yet powerful declaration that you've moved on from the past. You're no longer driven by what's gone. Your drive now comes from what lies ahead. Purpose, growth, and inner peace. This is the essence of the Stoic blessing, an unwavering calm energy that doesn't flinch, chase, or beg. It doesn't need to. You've given her the freedom to leave, and by doing so, you've granted yourself the freedom to rise. This is where your journey truly begins, not in the hope of a reunion, not in the pursuit of revenge, but in your rebirth. You didn't win her back. You won yourself back. And in the end, that's the only victory that ever mattered. That's the blessing of Stoicism, the strength to let go, to move forward, and to realize that in letting go, you hold all the power. Hey brother, thanks for sticking with me until the end. I know this journey isn't easy, but trust me, you're on the right path. Remember, her silence isn't your weakness, it's your opportunity. Every moment of this process is about you rising, becoming the best version of yourself, and reclaiming your power. Whether she comes back or not, you've already won. You've evolved into someone who knows his worth, who doesn't chase, and who stands tall in the face of uncertainty. Now, here's the real advice. Don't just think about this, you live it. Let it fuel you every single day. Your evolution is more powerful than any relationship or rejection. Keep your focus on growth, on strength, and on maintaining your peace. You didn't fold, you didn't break. That's what truly matters. If this resonates with you, don't just sit on it. Take action. Like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share your thoughts below. I am with you, and I believe in you. I don't chase, I evolve. This is Blessing of Stoic, and your story, it's just beginning.